might have been nicer had it come a tad earlier, but it's a difficult call for them. But yeah, you know, sometimes the weather's not kind, and it hasn't been today. But race 2 was a lot better. There was less standing water, and you know, we all had a bit of fun.
Comes at you, Andy. Let's start with yesterday for you. Actually, it was a little bit of a difficult day again with our first wet running with the MG6, and you missed the whole of the first session. Blew it on the back foot. But how is the car in the wet? So your first experience of an MGCC car in the wet conditions?
Well, unfortunately, I haven't really had much of a chance of a proper run in the car even today in the wet, with all things working as they should be. In race 1, we were involved with a small collision in the first corner, which basically misaligned the wheel, so I couldn't really lean on the car too much without throwing it off. In race 2, we had an unfortunate situation with the electric, so after lap 2, the wiper stopped working and the screen steamed up as the demister failed. So my experience of driving in the wet hasn't been all that favourable, to be fair. But generally, you know, the car feels very good. It's pretty nice, you can see where you go, especially around Thruxton. But you know, the guys at MG, Triple Eight, and Experimental Racing have done a fantastic job, as always. They really have been up against it because of the conditions that we've been up against, and making small subtle changes to the car. Unfortunately, things that are going wrong are components that are out of our control. You know, we've got this new NGTC regulation, and a lot of these components are common components, so you know, they're all bought in, and if they fail, that's not really down to the team. Yeah, you know, it's an experience building exercise, and hopefully we'll come race 3, we'll have a little bit of luck.
So Jason, for the first time today, it has finally relented to do with the weather, and obviously with a few support races out there, maybe drying the track. What do you think? Perhaps dry line for race 3?
Yeah, I think there's a good chance. I mean, we've got a reasonably sophisticated finger in the air is it going to rain system, and there is some other wet weather out there. Whether or not it reaches us before the race, we'll have to wait and see, but certainly the engineers are starting to set the cars up with a view to a dry setup, so that either work or it won't. Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to have certainly a drying line, maybe even a dry line. So yeah, we're having a gamble of going full dry setup.
And yesterday, once we did get onto the dry tyres for qualifying, yesterday's weather pattern was similar, very wet in the morning and dry, and just dry enough for qualifying. What were the challenges of that? Because it was still damp, but just dry enough for qualifying. We could see a lot of cars, unfortunately, including a couple of hours off. But why were the conditions so slippery? Was that anything to do with the new NGTC car, or just Thruxton?
I think yesterday in qualifying, you know, the circuit, you know, there was a dry line. It wasn't 100% dry in all throughout the lap. Some places around 95% dry. But nevertheless, as soon as you get slicks on, you know, you also get a lot of grip in compared to the dry tyres. And if I'm honest, I just bit off a bit more than I could handle. And you know, the speed I carried into the corner wasn't level with my ability. and my enthusiasm and optimism was far above my skill level yesterday. So yeah, so off I went into the trees, through 2 tyre walls, and ended up nearly in a farmer's field actually. Yeah, kind of right.
We've got a couple of questions here from the audience, and as they've braved the weather there, I think we'll take a couple. And it might bring the first one to you actually. So I don't have names, so I don't know who's contributed these, so apologies for that. But this one is, as a child, what level of racing did you aspire to, and have you now achieved this, or have you got a greater goal that you want to go and do, I don't know, World Touring Cars or something like this?
You know, I think when we start out racing, we all have silly ideas of wanting to go to Formula 1, but those ideas run out pretty quickly. We expect to sort of jump on the racing ladder. So touring cars is always going to be my main goal. As far as World Touring Cars is concerned, for me, I believe the British Championship has so much history and heritage that winning this, as Jason has on a few occasions, you know, far outweighs any World Championship for me. That's a matter of my opinion. I'd like to maybe do that one day, and a few years down the line, maybe I'll have a go in the World Touring Cars here, who knows. I had the opportunity to go World Touring cars this year, but I hope